Today we're talking about the Anel Plastic Beehive. Hello, I'm Gruffydd, so Gwenyn Gruffydd. Here we talk everything beekeeping, farming, countryside living, and we do reviews. Well, now in this video we are talking about the Anel Plastic Beehive. We are the main importer in the UK for Anel, and this is one of the many products which we import all the way from Greece. Now this is an unusual looking hive. I've not had a hive like this, but this year we're definitely going to get a few of these in April, and we're going to fill them with bees and see how good these are ourselves. Now I know they're very good. These are heavily used in Greece and they're used worldwide. But what's so special about it? Well, I'm going to break this hive down in this video, talk about all the different characteristics of the hive, and basically show you what's available from Anel and from us. Now the biggest pro of this hive is by far is the material that it's built from. It's a hard plastic shell with an insulated internal body. So you think of all the benefits you get using a polystyrene hive, you get the same benefits in this hive, but you get the added benefit of the hard plastic outside. So there's a lot more hardware in. If you drop this on the floor, it's not going to break. You can wash it down easy, you can pressure wash this, hot wash it, dip it in a bleach solution to sterilize it. This is one bomb-proof beehive. It's probably one of the strongest beehives on the market. Now, let's start on the top and work our way down talking about all its features. So currently this only comes in Langstroth. That seems to be the most popular frame size across the world, really. It's a shame the UK is so heavily dependent on the national hives. This only comes in Langstroth. So on the lid, you notice I've got a clip. All our Anel hives in the UK comes standard with the clip. So everything we import them with the clip. So nothing falls off. Now to show you how solid this is, if I lift this hive just from the top super, the whole thing comes off and it doesn't fall apart. Now that is an excellent benefit if you're moving hives around the place. You put these down on the trailer, then just one strap over to secure this to the trailer. These are not going to break apart while in transport with bees in. So that, I really like that. So clip that off. And then on the hive, we've got, if you live in a really strong, humid, hot, humid country, you've got vents on the side. You can peel these back. Allows the hot, moist air to come out the hive. You've also, on the top of the hive, you've got a feed-in hole. So if you're from America, you see a lot of guys feed in hives with inverted buckets. You can invert the bucket over there, feed the bees into the hive, and if you see this little sticker or barcode there, that indicates there's an ID tag in there, just like the one on the side here. So if I get my phone, I'll show you how that works. So with every Anel hive, it's got an ID tag already built in the roof. So if I go into the Anel app, I'll go into my April. Now we will do a standalone video on how this app system works, but it's for free. I go in the scan hive. Every modern phone has got one of these scanners now. And there we go, that's picked that information up. So the hive information, I've got apiary, and if you want you can put population of frames, brood frames, honey frames, queen, food, disease, treatments, etc. You can put all that on the app, and the app is for free. If you've got an Anel hive, you can use that already pre-built, or if you don't, you can buy the ID tag and put it on any hive. But back into the hive. So you've got a solid lid, and you can see the dual construction of the hives. You've got an internal plastic and you've got an outside plastic as well. On top of this, with our hives comes standard with a plastic crown board. So just a clear plastic. You guys using parties, you would have seen this type of clown board a lot. Now there are different things you can put on here as an optional extra. You can get a fabric clown board if you prefer something like that, or we've got these propolis screens where you can put that on the hive, close it down. This is designed so the bees can't fit through this. It's designed for the bees to seal this up with propolis, put it in the freezer, and then just break the propolis off, and you can harvest propolis. Now we are going to do that this year at Gwenyn Gruff in these hives. Or you can put a plastic clown board on it, but this has got holes. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but this is vented. So if you're in a really hot climate, you want the hive to push that warm moisture out of the roof, then having that in there makes a big difference. Now into the super, again, clips on the hive, super comes off easy. Now with this hive or with Anel, you can either buy frames, pre-built plastic landstock frames. This is an undipped one, or you can buy them dipped at the factory with Anel. So if time is a big problem for you, you can buy these frames dipped. Now we haven't got a lot of these at the minute, but the plan is on the next order we're going to order a big delivery of the frames, which will probably bring the cost down a little bit on the website as well. But we're showcasing this is what's available, and what Anel have told me and the people I know who use this system of hive and the plastic frames, they think it's fantastic. And a lot of people say once you go to these pre-dipped plastic frames, you will never go back. But if you are a traditionalist, timber frames fits these hives as well. On the hive and the brood bodies, we've got handles. So you've got a handle here, and then a handle on the opposite end, so it's always in balance. So you don't need to try and get your fingers in at the bottom to lift them. You've got handles already. That's what it looks like without the frames. So you can see there's a little bit of glue coming through on the joints, but that shows how well the cavity inside this is filled. There's no gaps in there. You've got insulation right round. Queen extruder, like any hive, this is made by Anel as well. Now we do actually sell a national version of this queen extruder, very good value, but this one is the one for the Langstroth hive. Inside the brood box, takes timber frames, and this is the version of the brood frames. So this is actually dipped. You're going to see the beeswax on the frames, so the bees will draw that out straight away. Now this is a big factor about this hive. Look at this. Now this is a divider board. So just like a 2-in-1 hive, you can turn this into a 2-in-1 hive. So say you wanted to put 2 queens in here and treat it as a nuke box. You put this down the middle. You've got 2 entrances on the front of the hive. This is adjustable, so you can make sure it's super tight fitting. Maybe I'll show you that is better. You can see the flexibility and the movement we've got. So you can totally close both sides up. So you can turn this into a 2-in-1 nuke. Now if you wanted, for whatever reason, introduce the bees back and forth, there's a slide on these dividing boards. So the bees can come through, but the queen can't. So there's multiple things you can do with one of these divider boards. And this doesn't actually come with the hive, but this isn't very expensive. I'd highly recommend you get one of these if you're buying one of these hives. And clip the brood box off. And we're down into a floor. This is a Varroa floor, vented. And look at what we got here as an entrance. So these clip on, so you've got a mouse guard built in, or say you've got an Asian hornet problem, hornets are coming in the hive, then you drop this mesh down. Now these can actually close the hive as well, so you just place them back down like that, and you can see the hive is totally sealed. The bees can't come out. And when you get to site and you want to release the bees out, this actually just comes off, and then the bees are free to go. So this entrance piece, you've got the built-in excluder or Asian hornet stopper, and you can close the bees in as well, so there's no need to plug the hive with anything. You've already got it with the hive built in. So that is the hive in a nutshell. I'm going to build this back up, and I'm going to show you the optional feeders that you can get for this hive and utilize the whole modern design of it. We've got a lot of different ways to feed the bees in these hives, so if I grab a few of what we've got and I can show you how they work with this system. First feeder we've got these in 2 sizes. These are an entrance feeder, so if you're doing an emergency feed or you don't want to feed a lot of syrup in one go, this is a fantastic way. Fill the cup up with syrup, put the lid back down, so this just fits inside. And look at that. Just like a chicken drinker, this area here will fill up with syrup, but then it won't spill out. It goes down gradually as the bees take the syrup from there. Now this works with a lot of different hives, works with national hives as well. Here's one type of feeder which we got for the Anel hive. This is a clear feeder. Now this is very cost effective. Originally we didn't import these, but you guys came on messaging, said you wanted us to bring in the clear feeder because of the price, which we did. Fits on top of the hive, and just like any hive down here, the bees, they can climb up into the feeder, collect the syrup from just the other side of this plastic, but they can't get into the big void itself, so they can't drown. So you've got 2 bits here that you can cut out if you wanted to feed bees fondant. So the way you do that, you'd knock these out, and then you can place fondant directly on the hive. But just because you put a hole in the hive, in the feeder, doesn't mean you can't use it for syrup anymore. These comes with rubber plugs, so you just plug those back in and it's good to go for syrup again. Another top feeder, this is essentially the same feeder but in a more hard wearing plastic. Again, comes with the plugs and the plastic inserts there so that the bees don't drown in the syrup. Very well made. Now this is by far my favourite feeder for the hive. It's got a dual cavity, so you can put syrup and fondant at the same time, or you can put syrup and maybe a pollen patty on at the same time. So this is great, you know, liquid and solid feeding at the same time. And again, if you needed to knock any of these out, so say you were only using this small piece for hard feeding, maybe you'd knock all the plugs out and you wouldn't knock anyone out of this side. So you've got the syrup and the solid. I think that's brilliant. I've not seen many feeders with this design. Anel have manufactured a purpose-built pollen connector to fit this hive. Now this actually does fit multiple different types of hives, but it fits this hive the best. So these entrance blocks can stay in, and it just literally slots in. And look at that. No screws, no nails, no nothing. That is now catching pollen, and that's all. You'd come up to the hive, empty the tray, put it back in, and you're way to go. And you've got, so you can choose whether you want to collect, so the guard comes right down, or if you don't, push that forward and the bees can come in and out and not catch pollen, because obviously you don't want to be catching pollen every day, or you're going to starve your hive of protein. And that is it. for the Anel Plastic Beehive. Now I think this, the whole design of it is amazing. The features they thought of, all the different bits, the add-ons you can add on to it. I think this is a fantastic hive, and we're definitely going to get a fair few of these ourselves for our own setup. But the best thing about this hive is the price. Now this by far is the best priced Langstroth polyplastic type hive on the market currently in the UK. We put a really big order in to bring the price down on these hives, and we're currently selling them for a fantastic deal. They're probably the cheapest now they're ever going to be in the UK with inflation the way things are going. So if anybody did want to try these hives, you've got a fantastic deal on right now on them. But no panic, we're going to be stocking these hives for a very long time. This is a white one, but they come in multiple colours. They come in a grey, they come in a blue, they come in a green, yellow. I can't remember exactly all the colours, but they come in a multitude of colours. So a lot of people have been buying them with us. They have the brood box one colour, the super's different colour, or some of them get a whole white one like this. There's multiple choices. The roof, it comes in both in grey or a white. The floor comes in a white or a brown, and then the brood boxes and the supers, they come in the multicolour options. But let me know in the comments, what do you think of this hive? Is this modern beekeeping at its best with the technology and the material available to us that they've used this now in a beehive? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you at the next video. Thanks for watching.